I've never had such tasty tomatoes. I'm going to show you how to cook them. So we're going to start by adding 1 tablespoon of margarine to a pan. Let that melt. We're now going to add some slices of tomato right on top of that melted margarine. Now you can add as many tomato slices as will fit in your pan. I've sliced 2 tomatoes here. And we're just going to let these cook until they get nice and soft. I love this recipe so much. We're going to fry these tomatoes at a nice low temperature. And then once they become soft, we're going to turn each slice over so we can cook the other side. And again, we're just going to leave these on a low heat to cook. Let's leave these to fry and we're going to continue with our recipe. Now we want to be careful not to burn these tomatoes either. Oh, my kitchen smells so good. All right, let's prepare the eggs for the next step in our recipe. So I've got a bowl here. I'm going to add 3 eggs. Some salt for seasoning. I'm also going to add in some parsley. Now you add as much parsley as you like. And let's mix this well. Looking good. We're now going to add this egg mixture right on top of those tomatoes we're cooking. Delicious. We're now going to add some chopped ham. Now, you're welcome to use chopped ham for this part. If you like chicken or bacon, that would be great here too, whatever you prefer, but I just prefer to add ham. Spread that ham all over the eggs. And the ham really does give our recipe a super special flavor. Let's go ahead and cover this and let it cook for a few minutes. And our recipe is almost ready. We can't forget about the most delicious ingredient, which is cheese. Now, I prefer adding mozzarella. I find mozzarella the tastiest, but you can add whatever cheese you like. I love this recipe. It is so delicious. And my kids love this egg recipe too. It's such a winner. All right, we've got our sliced cheese on top. We're going to add some oregano and just put a cover on that and let the cheese get nice and melted. All right, our cheese is melted. This looks absolutely incredible. Look how beautiful this is. All that's left to do now is serve it on a plate and call your family over so they can enjoy this with you. My mouth is watering so much now. This is a delicious, juicy egg recipe. Let's give it a taste. Incredible. Bon appetit.
Okay, cooks, add half a cup of vinegar to your milk. Now, before this, boil 3 quarts of milk. And after adding the vinegar, just stir until all the milk curdles. This process will be very fast. As you can see, my milk has already curdled. So it's super fast. And then next you're going to just turn off the heat and pour the liquid into a strainer to strain. Calmly, so you don't burn yourself, remove the water. Just remove all the water from the milk. And now with the help of a spoon, press the mixture with a spoon or spatula. This way, all the water will come out and it will be very dry without any liquid. And my recipe is ready. This step is very fast. So now we're just going to put all the dough together in the blender. Now, I don't buy cream cheese in the market anymore. I make my own cream cheese at home. It's easy enough. And I love this recipe. And this way too, you save time and you save money. Now to help the batter, just go ahead and add a small amount of milk. The batter can get very heavy and thick, so the milk just helps the batter loosen up a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. And just add 1 pinch of salt. Now cover and beat everything until it is very well mixed. If you notice that your blender is not beating the mixture, just add some more milk. Just a little liquid will help with that. Okay, and after mixing very well, this is the result. Now put all the mixture in a container to take to the refrigerator. And I'm telling you, don't buy cottage cheese anymore. Make cottage cheese at home. You can see what a fantastic result this is. And besides being simple, it's super cheap. You're going to be surprised at the result of this recipe. So take the recipe to the fridge for just a few hours so that the curd will be firmer than it is. Shall we try it? I'm telling you, it's impossible to eat just one piece of this recipe. So cooks, we're going to start the recipe by cutting an onion. You just want to cut that onion right in half. And make small cuts in, I'd say 6 onions. Now, when you've finished, go ahead and separate the onion pieces and put them in a bowl, and then cover with plastic wrap. Now we are just going to place in the microwave for 2 minutes until the onions are nice and soft. So after those 2 minutes, you're just going to remove the plastic wrap. And as you can see, our onions are now super soft, so this is perfect. Next, we're just going to carefully remove the onion skins. This is an easy step, but you just have to be careful not to break them. So just do it with caution. And of course, the onions are also hot, so just be careful not to burn yourself. Now go ahead and set aside these larger pieces in a bowl, and the next step is to prepare the sauce. So we're going to start by adding 400 grams of chicken, 1 grated carrot, 1 onion, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Then add black pepper, 1 spoon of paprika, and just mix everything together. Now, once you've finished, you want to just separate your onions. And then next, you're going to add a spoonful of filling inside your onion skins. And you want to squeeze carefully, and this is the result. Now, after finishing with all of them, our recipe is almost ready. Next up, we are just going to add 1 tablespoon of salt, some black pepper, paprika, and finish with 2 tablespoons of sugar, 100 milliliters of olive oil, and just mix everything together really, really well. And once finished, our sauce is now ready. So, carefully add the onions to a dish with the sauce, just like that. And when finished, place in a bowl. Now, in the rest of the sauce, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of honey, 100 milliliters of water, and then just mix everything together until all is dissolved. Now, add the contents on top of your onions. The spiciness of the sauce just makes this recipe so tasty and so special. Now cover with aluminum foil. And next, we're just going to pop this in the oven. You want to bake it for about 1.5 hours. After that time, the onions are ready, and wow, I mean, see how pretty it looks? It's so pretty. So just remove a piece and serve on a plate. I'm so excited to taste this. Shall we try it? Wow, it's perfect and it is super tasty.
Learn how to make spoon bread, a super easy recipe. Let's start with 360 mils of milk. We're going to need 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of oil. We're also going to need about 10 grams of biological yeast, and give everything a good stir. Let's mix all those ingredients. This recipe is practical, it's quick, and it really only has just a few ingredients. All right, now that our yeast is dissolved, it's time to add in some flour. This is 500 grams of flour. We're just going to add it in little by little. Stir and mix everything together, and when it forms a nice homogeneous dough, it's time to add the rest of the flour. If you like easy recipes, this one is definitely for you. All right, now that everything is mixed, let's add the rest of our flour. I'm now going to add a little bit of salt and give it another stir. You've never seen a bread recipe that's this easy. All right, this is the texture of our dough, just like this. It should be pretty sticky. Just follow for this texture and consistency. We're gonna set this aside. Now, in a pan, let's butter and flour this in advance. And I'm just going to use a couple of spoons, and we're going to add in the bread dough. We're just going to put small amounts in, just like this. I love the taste of this bread. Now, it's important that you don't add too much on top of each other because it's going to get stuck together. Our bread dough is going to rise, remember that. You need to try this recipe at home. It's a ton of fun to make and it's so delicious. It's perfect to eat with a cup of coffee. All right, let's cover this with some plastic wrap. And we're going to let it rest for about 20 minutes. All right, it's been 20 minutes and you can see how our bread has risen. To finish, we're just going to add a little bit of egg yolks right on top. I'm just using a silicone brush to make it super easy. The eggs are going to make our bread very golden, super colorful, and delicious. This tip is such a good one. Try this tip at home when you're making this bread. Let's bake this in a 320-degree oven for 20 minutes. And our bread is ready. Look how gorgeous this turned out. Shall we give it a try? Oh, it smells absolutely incredible. The bread is so soft and so tasty. Give this one a try.
Okay, guys, add 6 egg yolks and cover with a bowl. Now place the egg yolks in the center of the pan with the heat on low. While heating, butter the side of the pan. Spread a lot of butter until melted. Now add the whites of the 6 eggs. Put around. Now with a small fouet, beat the eggs white. Whip until nice and white. This is what it should look like, whipping over low heat. And just continue whisking and mixing. Okay, now add the spices. Parsley. Add black pepper. And spread well, don't put too much. Add salt. Add cheese. You can use whatever cheese you prefer. I'm using mozzarella cheese. And I'm adding this more yellow cheese just to make the recipe a little prettier. Now add a few drops of ketchup and add some space between them. Now stir in the egg whites well. And you'll see while the yolks cook, the egg whites fry really well. And even if it is soft, just keep stirring. And add more butter. Swirl around the sides of the pan. And the margarine should drain. I'm cooking on low heat. Now let's remove the bowl because the yolks have already cooked. Make sure to use a cloth so you don't burn yourself. Now look at the yolks. Turn off the heat and release the yolks. Separate the yolks and mix with the egg whites. It's a different omelet. This is how it should look. Shall we try it? Wow, the yolks stay whole. It's very good. And some great different flavors. No gelatin, no cornstarch, no condensed milk, and no oven. A delicious pudding. You're just going to start by adding 1 cup of sugar to a frying pan. From that sugar, you are making a caramel. So when the sugar starts to melt, you just want to keep stirring until everything is melted and the sugar is completely caramelized. Watch the temperature of your fire so it doesn't burn. You just want it to get super, super yummy. And I always use the measure of 1 cup of sugar to half a cup of water. So next you want to go ahead and add your half a cup of water. And I would say you want to add the water slowly so you don't risk the caramel rising and burning or spilling. And then you just want to stir until everything is completely melted. And after melting everything really well, our beautiful caramel is ready to go. Pretty easy and quick, right? So then just turn off the heat and transfer the syrup to your mold and pour all of the syrup into the mold. Now, with the help of a spatula, you want to spread the syrup on the sides of the mold so that it really gets up there. And after finishing that step, we're going to set aside to prepare the dough. So start by adding 3 eggs to your blender. Then add 700 milliliters of milk. This pudding recipe, it's just so yummy. Then you're going to add 2 cups of sugar and add 1.5 cups of wheat flour. Then add 2 tablespoons of margarine. You can replace the margarine with butter if you prefer. And then cover and beat well for a good 3 minutes. Just keep it blending. And after this time, the dough is ready. So next, we just want to pour the pudding batter into the mold with your caramel. And just pour until there is a little space left at the top of the mold. It's important to leave that little bit of space. Now cover with some aluminum foil. And next you want to place the mold in a larger mold with warm water. Now add 2 tablespoons of vinegar to keep your pan from darkening. And turn on the heat and let it cook for a good 45 minutes. And after this time is over, remove the aluminum foil. And this is the result. It is just too beautiful. Now remove and refrigerate for a few hours. And after those hours, our pudding is ready. Shall we try it? So with the help of a plate, just remove the pudding from the mold. This recipe is amazing and just so wonderful. I'm honestly really impressed by it. So just take out a slice and serve it to your family and friends. I mean, it looks super pretty, doesn't it? Okay, cooks, add condensed milk to your boiling water. Now, I added 200 milliliters of water and 395 grams of condensed milk. Then stir until everything is mixed with the water, and after mixing well, bring the milk to a boil and turn off the heat. Now add the mixture to a bowl. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of oil, add 1 egg, and just stir everything really well so as not to cook, especially the egg. And next we will add 1 pinch of salt and add 1 cup of flour. Now stir again until everything is well homogeneous. And now with the help of a ladle, separate a small amount of liquid and pour that liquid into the pan. Now I only used 1 ladleful because I want the batter a little bit thinner, but you can add more if you want it thicker. So just let it fry and make sure to watch it so that it doesn't burn. Next, you'll turn the pancake with the help of a plate and turn on the heat to low and just let it bake on the other side. Now place the pancake on a plate to facilitate. And you'll repeat the process with all of your dough. Now, because I'm making a very thin batter, this recipe is ready very fast. You've never seen such an easy pancake recipe. And just finish with all the batter that you have prepared. Now add melted chocolate in the microwave. I melted my chocolate with heavy cream. And with the help of a spoon, spread the chocolate well. It is very tasty. You can add more or less if you prefer. Now finish with powdered milk for just a little more creamy flavor. And what a delicious recipe. It is an easy and a super tasty candy. So just roll out the dough carefully and serve on a plate, and bon appetit. Okay, add vinegar over 3 liters of milk. Now my milk is already boiling right now, and this is 12 tablespoons of vinegar I'm adding. And just stir everything very well until the milk curdles completely. Now, after it has curdled very well, you're going to want to go ahead and turn off the heat. Now, put the milk over a bowl with a sieve and just pour the mixture very, very carefully because it is super hot. Now, this is a very great recipe that yields a lot, which we love. After you make this recipe, you're never going to want to buy cream cheese again. It's quick and it's a very economical recipe. You're going to want to make this at home. Now go ahead and just give it a really nice squeeze to remove any excess liquid from your milk. And just squeeze it really good to drain all of that liquid. This is also a very quick recipe, which is great. Now take all of this to a blender and just add it little by little so it doesn't all fall out. I'm telling you, this is such an amazing recipe. You are just going to be amazed by how it turns out. Now go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of margarine. And next you're just going to add just a small amount of salt. And go ahead and beat everything really, really well. Keep it going in there, but if you do notice that it's having a hard time getting it all blended in the blender, just add a small amount of milk until everything in the blender is super consistent. And at this point, you'll want to use a spoon to help you whisk and just spread those ingredients really, really well to make sure everything is able to become incorporated and get very well blended. And beat everything again in that blender. The goal is that it should become super creamy until it has the consistency of cream cheese. You want it very, very creamy. Now, after whipping it all, let's see how smooth it is. And look at that, it's a smooth, very firm mixture. Now add this amount of cream cheese in a bowl and see how beautiful and creamy it is. Arrange it well in your bowl and just refrigerate it until it's firm. And now our cream cheese is ready. This is a very quick recipe. Make it at home and save some time. Check it out. It is wonderful.
Prepare this quick and easy dinner. We're going to start this recipe by grating half a head of cabbage. And you're going to want to grate this cabbage into nice thin strips. Once our cabbage is all cut up, we're going to go ahead and season it. Let's add it right into a bowl. We're now going to add in some grated potatoes. This is 2 potatoes. I've already removed the excess liquid from those potatoes. We're also going to need 2 chopped red onions, add in some cheese, some parsley, and give all of these ingredients a good mix. See how easy it is? After mixing this, we're going to set this aside. In another bowl, add 4 eggs, 100 ml of milk, and mix the egg and milk together. After that's all mixed up, we're going to add in some black pepper, just 1 spoonful, some salt, and add in 6 tablespoons of flour, and mix everything together again. Looking good. We're going to need 1 spoonful of baking powder and another mix. Then we're going to pour this mixture on top of our cabbage and potatoes. Once that's added, we're going to give this another good mix. Let's season with some oregano. This ingredient is optional. And another mix. Add all of these contents right into a pan. Using a spoon, we're going to form some small cabbage dumplings and just gently place them on the oil. Now you can fry in oil or olive oil over medium heat. The taste is so amazing. I absolutely love this recipe. You have to give this one a try at home. We're going to fry these for a few minutes. And once you can see that they're cooked on one side, gently turn them over and we're going to fry the other side. Now it's important to remember to always fry at medium temperature. And our dumplings are almost ready. All right, let's go ahead and remove these from the pan, and it's time to serve. Look how golden brown these are. Now you can serve these with ketchup or any other sauce of your choice. I like to serve these while they're still piping hot and take advantage of that melted cheese. Bon appetit! Okay, so here I've got 7 eggs. I've already beaten these eggs, and I'm going to be adding them to some very hot oil, just like this. I'm using a spoon with some holes in it to help me. Be very careful. The oil is hot, so just be cautious with this part. Once our eggs start to fry, we're going to let it go, but I'm going to add on some seasonings, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to give it some flavor. Pepper is great with eggs. I always add pepper to my eggs. Okay, so when your eggs are starting to cook, we're going to be very careful to turn this over using 2 spoons, just like this. And now that our eggs are starting to fry up really nicely, we're going to take a spoon and we're going to shake off as much excess oil as we can. And we're going to add this to a bowl, just like this. Okay, so here I've got a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm going to be adding our breadcrumbs on top. I've got half of an onion that's been chopped. You can add as much onion as you like. And here I've got some melted butter. And I've got some scallions here. You can add herbs, whatever you'd like to add some flavor. And then using a spoon, I'm just gonna kind of like chop up our egg that we cooked earlier, just to try and like incorporate all of our ingredients nice and easily. So this process takes a little bit of time, so just be patient with it. We wanna make our egg pieces not too big. And if you want to cut your egg outside of the bowl, you can do that. Just cut it on a cutting board and add it in after. But I'm just doing everything in one bowl. It's easier, less dishes. And I love this recipe because my grandmother taught it to me. Everybody loves it. It's pretty easy to make and it's really, really good. It's called a farofa and it's quite simple to make at home. All right, so I'm going to be adding in some more breadcrumbs here. And I'm going to let this mix up nicely. Okay, got this all stirred up. And again, just be patient with this. You want everything to be nice and incorporated. So this takes a little bit of time. All right, now that this is getting nice and mixed up, okay, using a spoon, I'm going to add this to a plate here to get it nice and beautiful for our presentation, and our recipe is ready. And now you're ready to eat it. So enjoy, make it at home, give it a try.